Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to explore how you can achieve calligraphy style lettering using basic markers you probably already have in your art supply stash. To practice, you will need paper that has guidelines on it. I'm using a basic graph paper pad. I'm also going to be showing the difference between a brush marker that has a flexible tip versus a marker that has a non-flexible tip. So here I'm using Faber-Castell's Pitt Artist Brush Pens and the Crayola Super Tips marker. What makes calligraphy so beautiful is the variation of thick and thin strokes making up the letters. If you're using a marker instead of traditional calligraphy where you use ink and a nib, a brush marker makes this process a little easier as it has a flexible tip just like a paintbrush would have. You can see as I draw my upstrokes using a light pressure, I get thin lines, whereas when I apply more pressure to my downstrokes, I get thicker lines. Keeping that in mind, I can create those variations when drawing different strokes, depending on the amount of pressure that I'm putting. Now let's try that with the Crayola marker. Even though the tip is not flexible, the Super Tips marker does have a thinner point at the top of the tip and then it widens out. So to get those variations, instead of applying more pressure, you will move the tip differently on your upstrokes versus your downstrokes. On the upstrokes, you can see that I'm drawing with just the point of the tip on the paper. Whereas on the downstrokes, I press down more on the side of the tip where the wider part is, which allows me to create a thicker downstroke. Of course, it starts to get a little tricky as you begin making different strokes and doing the transitions and connecting lines because you need to change the position of the tip as you're lettering. As you do this for the first several times and as you practice, do those transitions very slowly. First practice strokes, then move on to letters, and finally words. I hope this gives you an idea for trying out calligraphy using different tools. Remember to take your time, practice a lot, and most importantly, have fun.